بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذا أذقنا الناس رحمة من بعد ضراء مستهم إذا لهم مكر في آياتنا قل الله أسرع مكرا إن رسلنا يكتبون ما تمكرون. صدق الله العظيم. Alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, we're continuing with these Quranic principles for life. And as we mentioned previously, that every verse of the Quran, every lesson in the Quran, every word of wisdom in the Quran is our GPS for life. It is our roadmap for life. And if we approach the Quran in this manner, as the Prophet ﷺ said, the one who takes the Quran as his guide, it will lead him to salvation in this life and in the hereafter. And the one who turns the Quran and puts the Quran behind his back, then he will himself have caused his own destruction. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this Quran. This Quran is rahmatul linnas. It's hudal linnas. It is a mercy for mankind. It is a guidance for mankind. So in this Mubarak month of Ramadan, we have to change our relationship with the Quran. Make the Quran something practical in your life. As I mentioned in the beginning of every lecture, take one ayah of the Quran that inspires you. Take one ayah of the Quran that really hits you. Print it out, put it up, read it, and constantly reflect upon that, how this ayah of the Quran is motivating me in life, how this ayah of the Quran is guiding me in life. On a regular basis, I have people that reach out to me regarding problems, regarding issues, regarding difficulties in life, predicaments in life, and I feel like this is common. We all have it as human beings. The first thing we want to do is to get the magic pill. That give me the magic pill, tell me this, and this is the way it's going to be. Give me something where I can take that pill and then it's going to resolve my problem and my issue immediately. This is the sifat, this is everybody's, this is in our nature. We want an easy way out. But I'll tell you, subhanAllah, I'll tell you an easy way out. But it's a lot of us don't do this. That whenever you have an issue, whenever you have a problem, try this. Turn to the Quran. Try this. Before we go and pick up the phone and call Maulana so-and-so, Shaykh so-and-so, man, I just need you. Some people, they just got my phone on speed dial, bro. They got my number on speed dial. Now answer your phone. It's like, I'm not God, bro. I am not. I am somebody that I will be there for you and I can give you some advice. My point is, at the end of the day, you are going to have to make tawakkul in Allah. You are going to have to connect yourself to Allah. You are going to have to resign your affair and say, Ya Allah, you are the only one. You are my Khaliq. You are my Malik. You are my Raziq. In the end, it's all going to come down to you and your Lord. I am there, wallahi. This is not in any way, shape or form a complaint about anybody who comes to me. If I can be a shoulder that somebody can cry on, subhanallah, that might be the source of my salvation on the day of judgment. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for us to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes brings these issues in our life to test us and to see, are we developing? This one life that Allah ta'ala gave us, what is it for? Do you know what it's for? With this one life is to connect to Him, is to submit to Him, is to recognize Him. To recognize Him, to submit to Him, to realize that He is our Malik and our Khaliq, and no one can resolve our issues other than Allah Himself. When we go to the ulama, when we go to the people of Allah, what my Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi, Maulana Hakim Akhtar, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, you know what he said? He said, even I cannot help you. Even I cannot be of an assistance to you. Learn from your Shaykh how to connect to Allah. That's the objective of the Shaykh. Subhanallah. Wallahi al-azim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate their ranks in Jannah. This was the beautiful advice that our Shaykh gave. He said, you can follow me like a tail behind my back everywhere I go. Be a groupie, be a murid. Fine, that ain't gonna get you nowhere. When your shaykh is dead, your spirituality is dead. If you follow the mashayikh like this, that you want the quick pill, give me the advice so I can run with it, and then when that shaykh is gone, when that person is not there to advise you in your life, what happens? Your spirituality is dead. Your deen is dead. Your iman is dead. My shaykh always used to say this: learn from the shaykhs and learn from your teachers how to attain Allah, how to connect with Him directly. They are not rabbis. Okay, my son, I have absolved you of your sins. Go, read 30 Hail Marys. Is this what our religion has become? This is not what our deen is. Then you go to the mashayikh, wo taweez denge aapko. Wo taweez denge aapko, it's going to resolve all your problems. Take that taweez, put it around your neck, give me the magic pill. Subhanallah, so many ayat of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about His messenger, "Oh Muhammad, show us a miracle. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, show us a miracle." He said, the miracles are from Allah. You need to act. You need to do. And this is amazing. Like the deen of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why was it successful? And the deen of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Islam, why did it spread throughout the world? Because it didn't rely on miracles. So many ayat of the Quran, over and over, I've been pondering about this. What is this? Like Allah Ta'ala could have showed it, and Allah did, on many occasions, but it wasn't the foundation of, all He did was show miracle. Actually, in many, many occasions, "Oh Muhammad, why don't you send a book from the heavens down for us? Why don't you bring a ladder so that the angels can come down and up and so we could see it?" He said, then what? Then what are you going to do? The entire life of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was what? Is jihad fi sabilillah, is da'wah ilallah, is sabr, is patience, is struggle, is injury, it's sacrifice. To show that life is not about relying on miracles. The greatest miracle is you put in the work, put in the mujahada, put in the struggle, put in the fight, go into the battle, go into the maidan-e-jang, the maidan-e-jang of your life. It doesn't have to be maidan-e-jang of the battlefield of life. So this is one of the, subhanAllah, brothers and sisters, as a student of Islam, wallahi, the more I read and the more I listen and the more I study, this deen is haqq. It doesn't rely upon miracles. There were miracles. Allah showed the prophets miracles. But my point is that what is the Quran? The Quran is a practical kitab. It's an interactive kitab. It's a book that you must connect yourself to. In the end of the day, no matter how many lectures I give you here, you're going to have to face your own battle in your life. You have to fight your own fights. You have to face your own battles. And in those battles that you fight, we've already mentioned a couple of lectures ago, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Through patience and prayer. Through patience and prayer. That is how you're going to win this battle of life. That is how you're going to get to the other side of this river. You're crossing this river. How you're going to get to the other side of this river is tawakkul ala Allah. Nisbat ma'allah. Connecting with Allah. Crying to Allah. Ya Allah, you are the resolver of my issues. Out of all the times that we have reached out to Shaykh so-and-so and Imam so-and-so, quickly resolve my problem. Have we made wudu, prayed 2 rakat salatul hajah? Ya Allah, you're the only one that can resolve my issues. You're the only one that can answer my call. You're the only one that, this is nothing for you. These issues are nothing for you. The entire Quran from beginning to end is what? Is tawheed. Is the oneness of Allah. Is that Allah is the one. He is the resolver of all issues. He is the remover of all difficulty. He is the one who is our khaliq, our malik, our raziq, our master, our sustainer, our creator. For Him it's nothing. He created the heavens and the earth with kun fayakun. Be and it was. How can your issue be anything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So my dear brothers and sisters, don't despair. Don't become frustrated. Don't become angry. You know why you're becoming angry? And you know why you're becoming frustrated? Is because you're relying too much on your own tadbir and on your own plot and scheme. Give up your plot and scheme and make tawakkul to Allah. Ya Allah, wa ufawwidu amri ila Allah. I think this dua was the dua of Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam, if I'm not mistaken. Shu'aib Madian. He had really bad people in his nation, in his tribe. They plotted him. They wanted to hurt him. They threatened him. We're going to kill you. What did he say? He said, do what you want to do. أُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. I resign my affair. I resign. You know what tafweed is? I resign my affair. That's it. Ya Allah, the ball is in your court, metaphorically. The ball is in your court. Khalas, I'm done with it. I resign my affair to you, Ya Allah. This requires a lot of courage. It requires a lot of yaqeen. But it has never failed me in life, my brothers and sisters. It's never failed me in life. It will not fail you in your life. And then with that, be strong to accept what is the outcome, because that outcome is going to be khair for you. With that being said, this Quran is that practical, that roadmap that we go to in any given situation in our life. This ayah, many places these ayat have come. This is Quranic principle number 11 from juz number 11. What is the Quranic principle? Do not forget the miracles of Allah in your life. Don't forget the miracles that Allah showed you in your life. This is rule, Quranic principle number 11. Allah shows you miracles in your life. Allah shows you certain things that you are in a situation. Ya Allah, I'm in such a difficult situation. Ya Allah, please get me out of it. Allah gets you out of it. Don't forget that. That's when you say, oh Allah, show me that you are the one. Allah shows you. Many occasions Allah does this for us throughout our lives. And when He does that for you, you know what you need to do? Never forget. And this is why this ayah I selected, because this is a very common theme in the Quran. That those who are ascribing partners to Allah, those who are mushrikeen, when they are overtaken by a calamity, when they are in the middle of the ocean in the ship, and then the storm takes over the ship, and the waves are as high as mountains, and the ship is about to flip over and drown, they make dua to Allah alone. They forget their idols. And they make dua, they said, oh Allah, you alone we call upon. Save us. And if you save us, we will never worship idols again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saves them. And then when they come back on shore, and then when they come back to safety, they return back to their idol worship. They return back to their disobedience of Allah. They return back to their shirk. Brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, we're not mushrik. Our shirk that we do is a little bit different. That we go into the shirk of forgetfulness. We go into the, worshipping of laziness, the worshipping of desires. We might be in a predicament. We might be in a difficulty. We call upon Allah, Ya Allah, help me. And Allah takes us out of that situation. Life goes back to normal. Life goes back to blessings. And then what do? We go back to our be'adabi. We go back to our forgetfulness. We go back to forgetting of our prayers. We go back to getting lazy and disobeying Him and falling into sins. And then what happens? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us of this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and when I show mercy and save people from a disaster, they forget such a miracle, right? They call upon me, and then they forget that miracle, and what do they start now, na'udhu billah, start cursing God. And they say that, oh, this wasn't a miracle, we just got lucky. It wasn't a miracle, it was just some luck. It wasn't God, it was, it was the cops, they came and saved us, or whatever, it was AAA, It was AAA. I had full coverage. They will make some excuse that it was this that bailed me out. It was not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah will devise. You're making these excuses. Allah will devise a plan against you, and all my angels are recording everything that you say. So Allah reminds us that we as humans, we tend to forget the blessings that we receive. And when someone is going through a difficult time, they sincerely pray for help, right? But once Allah saves them and they are comfortable, they often forget and they return back to disobedience. Allah further elaborates. So this is a common theme. In many places this has come. That's why I brought this. This is a Quranic principle for life, that don't forget the blessings of Allah in your life. Allah says, هُوَ الَّذِي يُسَيِّرُكُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. It is He who enables you to travel on the land and in the sea. Right? حَتَّى إِذَا كُنْتُمْ فِي الْفُلْكِ. And when you're in the sailing in the ship, وَجَرَيْنَ بِهِمْ بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ فَرِحُوا بِهَا. And they rejoice by a favorable wind that comes, right? But then when suddenly a storm arrives and waves come from all sides of that ship, and they feel that there is no escape. We're not going to get out of this. This is where we're going to die right now. What happens? Then they pray to Allah. دَعَوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They pray sincerely to Allah at that moment. And they say, لَإِنْ أَنْجَيْتَنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. Oh Allah, if you save us from this situation, we will definitely be from those that are grateful. Wallahi, I will never disrespect you again. I will never disobey you again. I will never be forgetful of you again. Yet no sooner, فَلَمَّا أَنْجَاهُمْ إِذَا هُمْ يَبْغُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ. Yet no sooner does He save them that back on land, when they reach safety, they behave rebelliously on the earth, offending Allah and disobeying Allah in all that is against all right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas, innama baghyukum ala anfusikum. O mankind, this rebelliousness and forgetfulness, right? This is going to be detrimental, and it's going to be against your favor. This one time that I showed you was to show you my miracle. Once a human being sees the miracle of Allah, you have no excuse to turn your back now. And this is the greatest treachery. The greatest treachery is when Allah shows you a miracle. You were sick that you were about to die, and Allah brings you back to life. You were in a situation that you were in utter poverty. Allah takes you out of that and puts you in a state of affluence. And then you forget Him. This is the greatest treachery that a person can do. And remember, this is one of those things that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us of that. Don't be somebody who witnesses a miracle. Don't be somebody that takes Allah's blessings, enjoys Allah's bounties, and then becomes forgetful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Mata'ul hayat dunya. I will still give you respite in the life of this world. I will let it go. I'm gonna let it slide, but I will not forget. ثُمَّ إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُكُمْ. Remember that to me is your return. فَنُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And we were going to remind you of that which you did in the life of this world. Subhanallah. This is how merciful is our Allah. I give you respite. That's okay. But you forgot my bounties, there's going to be consequences of those bounties. Therefore, this blessed ayah teaches us that when Allah removes calamities and difficulties in our lives, the appropriate response to that is to continue to remain dedicated to Allah. Ya Allah, I will give my life for you. Not to turn your back. Forgetting these blessings and returning to a state of forgetfulness and disobedience as if there had been no suffering, as if you never went through any difficulty or hard times, right? Forgetting that is the ultimate betrayal of Allah's immense bounties. And in regards to this, subhanAllah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions an amazing story of 3 people who were in calamity. One person was a man who had no hair on his body. He's completely hairless. And he looked, very unusual. No hair of the face, no hair of the head, no hair of the eyebrows, like a person who's suffering from chemotherapy or something like that. And he asked Allah, he always wished that he would have hair. Another person, he was blind. And a third person, he was a leper. He had sickness throughout his whole skin that people didn't want to come near him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, these 3 slaves of mine, I want to test them. I want to test them with my blessings. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends to the hairless man in the form of, an angel. He says, oh man, I am the angel from your Lord. What is it in this world that you want most? What do you wish for? He said, I wish to have beautiful hair. I don't want to be in such a manner that people have nafrat of me. Right? Wherever I go, I try to get married. Nobody wants to marry me. They say you look like you have some disease. I wish I was normal. He said, you have been granted that. And on top of that, here is one valley filled with cattle and goats. So he took that, he left. The second person, the angel came to the blind man. He said, I'm an angel from your Lord. I have been sent to you. What is it that you wish for most? He said, I wish I could see. I wish I have this bounty of being able to see. I wish I had sight. He said, Allah has granted it to you. What else do you wish? He said, I wish I had wealth. He said, here, this whole valley filled with camels is yours. And he went to the third one, the one who had leprosy. He says, I am an angel from your Lord. My Lord has sent me to you. What is it you wish for? He said, I wish that I had this normal. I wish I did not have this disease. He says, go. Allah has given it to you. And this is a whole valley filled with goats and sheep and cattle as wealth for you. Many years passed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this angel back after decades. And this angel came first to the man who was given the beautiful hair and the beautiful complexion. And he said, I am a faqir, I am a miskeen, I am so poor. I am a traveler, I have been separated, I lost all my wealth. Please, if you can give me something from what Allah has given you, just give me one goat. Remember, he had a whole valley, and that valley doubled and tripled by the time, right, many years had passed. He said, give me something of what Allah has given you. Look at his words. Allah given me? I earned this. I worked hard for my money. You don't know me? I worked hard for my money. What is this Allah give you? Go, you should also work. Try it for a change. Try getting a job. As soon as the angel heard that, he changed his complexion and he said, don't I know you? Weren't you the same person, the hairless man that nobody wanted to marry and come even close to you? They thought you had some disease. Aren't you that person? He just became shocked like this. He said, how did you know? He said, I am that same angel of Allah. I have come to you and you've forgotten Allah's blessings like this? You earned this? You don't remember when you were that wretched person that nobody wanted to come near and Allah blessed you? May Allah make you just as you were before. Go back to what you were. And all of his blessings were taken away. And when he went back to that condition, the angel then went to the leper. He went to the man who had leprosy. He says, I'm a miskeen, I'm a faqir. Please give me something from what Allah has given you. This was the word that he would use for each one of them. Give me from something that Allah has given you. Allah gave them, right? They didn't earn it. And listen to what each of them said, forgetting Allah's blessings. He said, what? Allah gave me? I earned this, man. I work hard for a living. You should try it sometime. You should try it. Get a job. Get a life. This doesn't work like that. You know, begging and asking for money from people. He said, wait a minute. Don't I know you? He said, what? He said, you don't remember me? I remember you. And he came in his original form. He says, oh my God. He says, yes, I am that same angel of Allah that Allah sent me to you to bless you. And this is how you have forgotten his favors. May Allah make you just as you were before. And Allah took away all of his blessings and he came back to the state of being a leper. The third one, the angel went in the form of a faqir to the person who was blind. And he says, I'm a faqir, a miskeen. I've been connected. I've been cut off from the caravan. I'm lost. Just give me one sheep. That's all I ask. Give me one goat. Give me one sheep. Give me from what Allah has given you. Give me from what Allah has given you. He says, his eyes started to tear and he started to cry. And he says, I was a blind man. I had nothing. And one day, you are right, Allah gave me. One day, I don't know, it was a miracle. An angel came to me. And that angel said to me, what do you want? And he gave me sight. And Allah, the angel Allah accepted my dua through that angel. And Allah gave me all this wealth. Oh my dear traveler, take what you want to take. This is yours because this wealth has been given to me from my Allah and my sight was restored by Allah and I will never forget that. Take what you want to take, O traveler, because my Lord has blessed me and I will not forget the blessings of my Lord. Allahu Akbar. The angel said, do you remember me? You have passed your test. You passed your test and your two companions, they failed their test. You have said the right thing. You did not forget your Lord's bounties. My dear brothers and sisters, don't forget Allah's miracles in your life. Allah will give you little miracles in your life. Allah will save you. Allah will bring happiness to you. You will be in a predicament and in a suffering and in a sickness and in a calamity. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reaches you, don't forget those blessings. Don't become greedy. Don't hold those blessings to yourself. Be somebody that will then show compassion. Be someone that then you remind yourself, how can I be greedy when Allah showed mercy to me? How can I hold back when Allah showered His mercy on me? How can I forget when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took me out of the darkness and brought me to where I am now? Inshallah, if we have this, my dear brothers and sisters, if we have this, then you know what will be the result of that? لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are grateful, Allah will increase you. If this will be that every single time that you learn from those bounties, you learn from those incidents in your life, and you take it and you are grateful to Allah, and you're compassionate, and you're generous, and you're merciful, and you continue to grow like this, Allah will continue to bless you. Double it, triple it, quadruple, Allah will quadruple your blessings. This is the way to opening your blessings and preserving your blessings and continuing to get the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life. May Allah give us tawfiq to never ever forget His blessings and to be conscious and aware of Allah ta'ala's doings in our life. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika.